The air inside the cottage was still, as if it had learned to stay quiet after so many years of silence. Helen Montgomery, 76, hadn't opened the windows in days, not because of the weather, but because she didn't want the outside world creeping in. She had lived alone in this small lakeside cabin in upstate New York ever since her husband's funeral, 17 years ago. He had been her anchor, and once he passed, she slowly drifted away from everyone else. Helen's days had become a ritual of avoidance. She woke at 5:45 a.m. sharp, brewed her coffee in the same blue ceramic mug Daniel had made in his pottery phase, and sat by the frosted window staring out at nothing in particular. Her mailbox, now rusted at the hinges, hadn't been opened in weeks. There was no one left who wrote to her, no one whose news mattered anymore. The neighbors had stopped checking in years ago. At first they brought casseroles, books, even notes of encouragement. But with time, their patience wore thin, and Helen's silence pushed them away. It wasn't anger she felt, it was fear. Fear of new bonds, of memories being diluted by the presence of others, of finding something meaningful only to lose it again. Helen had once been an art teacher. Before she became the widow on Elm Ridge, she used to brighten classrooms with acrylic paints, laughter, and the scent of turpentine. She loved her students, her messy aprons, and the gallery walls in the school hallway lined with childish dreams captured in color. But all of it disappeared the day she buried Daniel. She packed away her easels and palettes, turned off the music, and erased herself from that version of life. The silence was intentional. Until one day it wasn't. It began on a Tuesday with a knock on the door. Helen froze. No one ever came here anymore. She waited, unmoving, until the footsteps faded. When she finally opened the door hours later, there was a small package wrapped in brown paper. No return address. No message. Just her name in shaky handwriting. Inside was a sketchbook. Her old sketchbook. The one she thought she had lost in the school basement years ago. Every page was a memory. Portraits of her students, Daniel's laughing eyes, unfinished landscapes. Someone had gone through the trouble of finding it, of returning it. That night, Helen sat in front of her fireplace with a sketchbook in her lap, flipping through page after page like she was touching parts of herself long buried. For the first time in years, she wept. Not the soft tears of mourning, but the deep, shuddering sobs of someone realizing how far they had disappeared into themselves. She didn't sleep that night. Instead, she found her old brushes in the attic, dusted off her paint jars, and set up a canvas near the window where the morning light would touch it. For the next few weeks, she painted. The lake. The cottage. The woman she saw in the mirror. She painted the silence, the sorrow, the soft rebellion of rediscovery. Each brushstroke was a rebellion against time, against the voice in her head that told her it was too late to begin again. Helen started leaving the window open. Then the door. She placed a fresh canvas on a stool outside her home with a handwritten note. Paint something. Anything. One day someone did. A child, judging by the crayon scribbles. Then another. Teen with a soft touch. A mother with flowers. The canvas changed every day, and Helen added her own touches at night. Slowly, unknowingly, she had started a quiet conversation with the world again. One morning, she walked into the nearest town for the first time in a decade. People recognized her. "Is that Helen?" they whispered. "She used to teach art." She smiled for the first time in years and answered, "I still do." Helen didn't return to hiding. She opened an art garden behind her cottage, a place where anyone could come and paint. She called it the Quiet Gallery. No fees. No expectations. Just expression. Children came with their parents, teenagers with too many thoughts, elders with too few. And Helen painted beside them all. Her story became one of slow rebirth, not with fireworks or grand declarations, but with a whisper that became a wind. She had lost her voice in grief, but she found it again in silence. And now her colors spoke for her. Because even after 17 years of being lost, Helen realized it wasn't too late to live again.